Could your favorite healthy food actually be hurting your blood sugar? You might be eating it every morning, thinking it's a smart, nutritious choice, without realizing it could be causing unexpected spikes in your glucose levels. Even more concerning, these foods are often marketed as good for your heart, your weight, and your overall health. But here's the part most people miss. Healthy doesn't always mean blood sugar friendly. According to insights from nutrition experts, including the Mayo Clinic, several everyday foods that appear healthy on the surface can have a surprisingly high glycemic impact. That means they can raise your blood sugar, quickly triggering insulin responses, increasing cravings, and, over time, possibly contributing to insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. And you don't have to be diabetic for this to matter. More than 1 in 3 American adults have prediabetes, and 80% of them don't even know it. Unstable blood sugar can affect anyone, leading to energy crashes, mood swings, belly fat accumulation, and even long-term heart and brain health risks. So today, we're shining a light on 5 foods that seem healthy, but can quietly spike your blood sugar. And for each one, we'll explain why it happens, what the science says, and what you can eat instead to protect your health. Let's start with a food many people choose in the morning, thinking it's a better option. Most people reach for whole wheat bread thinking it's the healthier choice. After all, it's brown, it's labeled whole, and it's not that processed, right? But here's the surprising truth. Not all whole wheat bread is created equal, and some can spike your blood sugar almost as much as white bread. According to the Mayo Clinic and other leading nutrition researchers, many commercial whole wheat breads are still made with finely milled flour, which breaks down quickly in the body. That means, even though the label says whole wheat, your body processes it almost like sugar. The key factor here is the glycemic index (GI), a measure of how quickly a food raises blood sugar. While pure glucose has a GI of 100, many whole wheat breads clock in between 60 and 75. That's high enough to cause a sharp rise in blood sugar, especially if eaten alone. Let's say you toast a slice of whole wheat bread in the morning, add a bit of jam or honey, and have it with coffee. You might feel great at first, but within an hour or two, your blood sugar may crash, leaving you tired, hungry, and craving more carbs. Even breads with multigrain or 12-grain on the label aren't always safer. Often, they're made with a mix of refined flours and sugars, with just a sprinkle of whole grains thrown in. These labels are marketing tactics, not a guarantee of low glycemic impact. Look for breads labeled 100% whole grain that also contain visible seeds, oats, or sprouted grains. Better yet, try sprouted grain breads, like Ezekiel bread, which tend to have a lower GI and more nutrients. These break down more slowly, giving you steadier energy and better blood sugar control. Another tip: pair your bread with protein or healthy fat like eggs, avocado, or nut butter. This slows digestion and reduces the blood sugar spike. It's not about banning bread from your life, but choosing it wisely can protect your metabolism and your long-term health. They're colorful, fruity, packed with vitamins, and they even sound healthy. Antioxidant berry blast, green detox smoothie, immune boost blend. Sounds like something your body would love. Right. But here's the part. Most people never consider fruit smoothies, especially store-bought or even homemade ones with the wrong ingredients, can become sugar bombs in disguise. It's true that fruit provides essential nutrients like vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. But when you blend fruit into a smoothie, you break down its natural fiber. the part that slows sugar absorption. Without that fiber, your body processes the sugars much faster, leading to a rapid rise in blood glucose levels. And it gets worse when smoothies include fruit juices, flavored yogurts, or added sweeteners common in cafe or bottled versions. A typical 16-ounce fruit smoothie can contain 35 to 60 grams of sugar, the equivalent of 8 to 15 teaspoons. That's more than a can of soda. The Mayo Clinic warns that even naturally occurring sugars in high quantities can affect your insulin response, especially for those at risk of diabetes. When sugar enters the bloodstream too quickly, it doesn't just give you a short-lived energy boost. It also creates a rebound effect. You may feel tired, irritable, and hungry again soon after. So, what's the solution? First, if you enjoy smoothies, make them at home where you control the ingredients. Choose low glycemic fruits, like berries instead of bananas or mangoes. Add greens like spinach or kale, and always include a source of protein or fat, such as Greek yogurt, chia seeds, or a spoonful of almond butter. These ingredients help slow digestion and keep your blood sugar stable. And don't forget portion size. Even the healthiest smoothie can cause a spike if it's too large. The takeaway smoothies can still be part of a healthy diet, but the wrong blend, or too much of a good thing, can quietly sabotage your blood sugar. Walk through any grocery store and you'll see shelves lined with low-fat flavored yogurts, often advertised as heart-healthy, gut-friendly, or a perfect snack. With their creamy texture and fruity taste, they seem like a smart choice, especially if you're trying to eat healthier. But what most people don't realize is that low fat doesn't mean low sugar. And in fact, it often means the opposite. Here's why: when food manufacturers remove fat from yogurt, they also remove a big part of its flavor and texture. To make up for it, they add sugar, fruit syrups, or artificial sweeteners. This makes the yogurt taste good again, but it also makes it a surprising source of added sugars. According to the Mayo Clinic, some flavored yogurts contain 15 to 25 grams of sugar per serving. That's 4 to 6 teaspoons in a single small cup. And because it's soft, sweet, and quick to digest, it hits your bloodstream fast, spiking your blood sugar in a matter of minutes. Many people choose low-fat yogurt thinking it'll help them lose weight or control cholesterol. But the blood sugar roller coaster it creates can backfire, leading to more cravings, fat storage, and even insulin resistance over time. So how can you enjoy yogurt without the sugar trap? The better option is to choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. It has more protein, fewer sugars, and a creamy texture that doesn't need sweeteners. You can sweeten it naturally with a few fresh berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or even a handful of nuts. These additions not only taste great, they also provide fiber and healthy fats to keep your blood sugar steady. Also, don't be fooled by buzzwords like organic, natural, or probiotic on yogurt labels. Even these can be packed with sugar if they're flavored. The bottom line: that healthy cup of low-fat fruit yogurt might be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to your blood sugar. You're in a rush, need something quick, and grab a granola bar from your bag. It's got oats, maybe some nuts, maybe some dried fruit. How bad can it be? Unfortunately, this so-called health snack can often behave more like a candy bar once it hits your bloodstream. Many granola bars, especially those labeled chewy, sweet and salty, or yogurt-coated, are packed with added sugars, corn syrup, and refined grains. Even the ones that claim to be natural or organic often contain ingredients like honey, brown rice syrup, or fruit concentrate, all of which rapidly raise blood sugar levels. According to the Mayo Clinic, the hidden sugars and fast-digesting carbs in many granola bars can cause a sharp insulin response, particularly dangerous for those managing blood sugar levels or trying to avoid energy crashes. Let's look at the numbers. A typical granola bar can contain 15 to 25 grams of sugar and over 30 grams of carbohydrates, with little fiber or protein to balance it out. That's roughly the same sugar load as a slice of cake or 2 glazed donuts. Even more confusing, many bars boast of being made with whole grains or a good source of fiber. But when you examine the ingredient list, whole grains are often far down, and fiber content may be only 1 or 2 grams per serving, not nearly enough to slow sugar absorption. So, what can you eat instead? If you love the convenience of bars, look for options with at least 3 to 5 grams of fiber, 6 to 10 grams of protein, and minimal added sugar. Better yet, make your own using oats, nuts, seeds, and a touch of natural sweetness from dates or berries. These ingredients digest more slowly and offer lasting energy. Another idea: pair a small handful of nuts with a piece of fruit. It gives you protein, fat, and natural sugars, but in a balanced way that won't spike your glucose. The takeaway granola bars might seem like a health-conscious grab-and-go choice, but most are sugar-heavy snacks in disguise. A handful of raisins, a few dried apricots, maybe some mango or banana chips. These tiny snacks feel innocent enough after all. They're just fruit. Right. But here's what most people don't realize. Dried fruit can be one of the sneakiest causes of blood sugar spikes, especially if you're eating it the way most people do, by the handful. The problem starts with concentration. When fruit is dried, all the water is removed, shrinking its size and intensifying its sugar content. For example, 1 cup of grapes becomes just a small handful of raisins, but the sugar remains the same. That's 20-30 grams of natural sugar in just a few bites. The Mayo Clinic cautions that while dried fruits do retain some nutrients, they often lose fiber and volume, which means your body digests them faster, raising blood sugar more quickly than fresh fruit would. To make matters worse, many brands of dried fruit add even more sugar during processing. Look for phrases like candied, sweetened, or glazed on the label. A serving of sweetened dried cranberries, for instance, can contain as much sugar as a candy bar. And banana chips. Most aren't just dried, they're fried in oil and coated with sugar, making them more dessert than fruit. So, should you avoid dried fruit altogether? Not necessarily. But here's how to enjoy it safely. Watch your portion sizes. Stick to just a tablespoon or 2. And always measure instead of grabbing a handful. Choose unsweetened, unsulfured varieties. These retain more nutrients and don't have added sugar. Pair with protein or fat. Mix a few raisins into unsweetened Greek yogurt or have a date or 2 with some almond butter. This slows down how quickly the sugars hit your bloodstream. Opt for fresh fruit when possible. It's more filling, lower in sugar per bite, and contains more water and fiber, both of which help regulate digestion. The big takeaway: dried fruit might seem like a healthier treat, but in the wrong portion or form, it can send your blood sugar soaring. So now you know not everything labeled healthy is kind to your blood sugar. Whole wheat bread, fruit smoothies, low-fat flavored yogurt, granola bars, and dried fruit. All foods that sound nourishing can silently contribute to energy crashes, mood swings, and long-term blood sugar issues if eaten without awareness. But don't let this overwhelm you. This isn't about fear, it's about clarity. Once you know how these foods behave in your body, you can make better choices. You can swap the granola bar for a handful of nuts and a boiled egg. You can replace the sugary yogurt with plain Greek yogurt and berries. You can still enjoy bread and fruit, but in forms that work with your body, not against it. And remember, it's not just people with diabetes who need to care about this. Stable blood sugar supports everyone's health, your energy, your weight, your brain function, and even your heart. Keeping those levels balanced helps you avoid chronic inflammation, reduce cravings, and feel more in control of your appetite and your life. The Mayo Clinic emphasizes that managing blood sugar is about long-term wellness, not quick fixes or harsh restrictions. It's about choosing foods with real fiber, healthy fats, and proteins that work together to nourish you. So, next time you reach for something labeled healthy, take a second look at the label. Ask yourself, is this food giving me lasting nourishment or a short-lived sugar rush? And if this video helped you see some of your habits in a new light, share it with someone you care about, especially if they're trying to eat better, manage their weight, or prevent diabetes. One small change today could make a big difference tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay kind to your body, and take care of your health because you deserve to feel your best every single day.